our game is about snowboarding in general, just not one portion of snowboarding, but the whole thing. And that is something that Shawn has brought to the table since the beginning. He's been pushing us to basically not represent only the fact that he's good at snowboarding in the half pipe and, you know, slope style, but the whole mountain experience, even like navigating Alaskan, jagged, dangerous, avalanche prone, cliff, life-threatening environment, basically. Well, Shawn, first of all, recommended like the experience itself and looking for how we could basically give the player the feeling that he feels when he's actually doing that activity specifically, and his sense of humor in general. Like when the player is going to meet Shawn, because they don't play Shawn, they play themselves, and that's a big thing because, and one of the reasons why they play themselves is because there's a seamless environment. Basically, you don't play single player or multiplayer; you play both. Basically, you're either connected, you're either online or you're offline. But you don't play Shawn, you play yourself, and you know you want to differentiate yourself between other players. I mean, there's a progression, of course, like, and it's not just visual, but it's also like a personal progression, skill-based, leaderboards, you know, being known. Shawn does give you things to do in the environment, which will augment your character in a specific way, which we currently call focus skills. But skills that only Shawn can give you, that are attached to a bar that actually drains when you use them, that gives you an extra advantage. But there is a character, you know, augmentation as you progress with the game. One of the big decisions that we took at the beginning is we prototyped a lot the game and the snowboarding experience, and we quickly decided to just take a big risk and move through a physics-driven snowboard experience. So it's all havoc-driven. Gravity pulls you down, and gravity will also affect how the snow friction will work, rock. So everything's totally physics-driven. The controller are configured in multiple layers. For PS3, we use the 6-axis and DualShock 3. A lot of people have been asking the question, but in general, it's very accessible. So anybody can pull off like a 180 and a 360 right off the bat. But it's all analog driven, a bit like skate, for example, where we let hardcore gamers really go deep into the control depth and find specific last-second adjustment to their lower body just to pull off an additional 180 degrees or an additional grab. The game will let you do that. I'm a snowboarder myself, and every time I play the game, I just basically want to go back on the slope. And people that haven't snowboarded, the comments that we're mostly getting is like, all right, you guys are convincing me that I want to snowboard. Shawn White Snowboarding is coming out holiday 08 on PS3, 360, PC, DS, Wii, and PSP. Shawn White Snowboarding is an authentic experience on open, massive world environments, Alaska, Europe, Japan, and the United States, and all within a seamless multiplayer, single-player environment. So basically, you're with your friends all the time, constantly, but you can still play your single-player experience even though your friends are there. We keep people connected the way that snowboarding was meant to be, with friends on the mountain constantly. We give you around 75 different activities to do around the mountain. They vary from like skill challenges up to like anything you would expect of snowboarding. You know, big air competition, slope style, half pipe competition. We also let people define their own challenges around the mountain. So they're huge. If you find a place that you think that you're better than your friends, you can always tag it as, all right, let's see who does the best trick on this jump, for example. Scoring itself is basically based on your performance, but not only by tricking, by taking risks, for example, by being different and using the actual environment to your advantage. So, you know, if you jump a 400-foot cliff and survive it, the game rewards you for that. So in a sense, you gain respect and you gain reputation because, you know, you're risking your life. So it looks cool. So it's all about the culture of snowboarding. It's not just tricking, it's about racing, it's about taking chances, big open mountain risk taking. Gear combination would be in the millions, but hundreds and hundreds of different gear. And all of them are based on your progression. So the more you play and the more you gain reputation, meaning the more you get money. And with money, you can actually buy new and better gear. And there is a progression to that. So, you know, just by looking at somebody's gear, you'll know who you're up against. So the game's shipping in Holiday 08 and on PS3, 360, and PC, specifically for this version, and of course on the Wii. Well, I'll let you guys handle the rest.